I discovered that Botanical Pies exist, so I don't have to get to 81 Herblore. I can just eat a pie and boost my Herblore to make Saradomin Brews. So we're gonna eat this. And then we're gonna make some of these. Little backstory. So last year, right after Memorial Day, I bought a bicycle. Previous to that, I had decided to sell both my car and my motorcycle and not have a vehicle at all. So since last Memorial Day, I've been riding, not last, but the Memorial Day before last, I've been riding a bicycle everywhere for transportation and walking. And I'll go to work and the grocery store and everywhere else that I need to go on a bike or walking. And I have a coworker that he's pretty physically active. He likes to stay fit. He exercises and likes to do outdoor stuff and all that. So he lives closer to work than I do. I'm about twice as far away from work as he is. And for a while when I first did that, he has a bike. I tried to convince him to ride his bike to work like I was doing, but he never wanted to do it, so I just kind of gave up on it, and I forgot about the idea of trying to convince him. So this week, like a year and a half after I tried to convince him to do that, I showed up to work and he was sitting there on his bicycle, and I was like, I cannot believe. I was very surprised to see him sitting there on his bike. So he did it a couple of days this week. He did it Tuesday, and then he was off Wednesday, and then he was there again on his bike on Thursday, yesterday. So I think he's gonna make a habit out of it. I'm very surprised, and I'm kind of pleased because I don't think he ever would have done that if I didn't ever try to tell him to do it, and also if I hadn't been doing it myself. So it's kind of cool to see that people would do things that they normally wouldn't do just because somebody else is doing them. Like, you can influence them just by example, and then I was also giving them good reasons why I was doing it. You're saving money on gas, saving money on wear and tear onto your vehicle from driving it every day. It's good for your physical health because you're getting exercise every single day. All sorts of stuff. There's a lot of pros to riding your bike to work every day compared to driving your vehicle to work every day. And it does have its cons too. You get to work, if it's hot out, you're super sweaty, you're tired. Winded. It only takes me like 15 minutes to ride my bike to work, but that's all it takes. You don't need to ride your bike a whole bunch just to get more fit. I ride it more than just to and from work as well, but so yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm happy to see that he's riding his bike to work now. Oh, time to eat a pie. Now, I sold my vehicles for more than one reason. Another reason was financial wise, just like you don't realize how much money like a vehicle sucks up. Like, vehicles are expensive. They take up a lot of resources. So like, you get rid of that and you're a lot financially freer. You can spend your money on other things, or you can save up your money and spend your money on time off, which is what I tend to do anymore. Instead of buying stuff, I buy time, buy free time. It's also better on the environment too. And I also kind of don't like vehicles for the fact that last night after work I seen a cat get hit by a car, and they kept driving. I really like cats, and that was kind of depressing. I was not very happy. I was very sad last night. Yeah, I seen that cat get hit, and I just watched the entire thing happen. And there was nothing I could do about it. It just happened, and I couldn't believe it. So the car, I think they tried to slow down. I couldn't tell, but it didn't really look like they put much effort into trying to avoid the cat. The cat was sitting there in the road, and like I think somebody threw a bag of like fast food out their window, so it was kind of like spread out all over the road, and I think it was eating something. And yeah, that car was coming, and the cat ran the wrong direction, and it kind of, I think that guy slowed down, but he didn't slow down very much, and he like also didn't swerve or anything. He just kept going in a straight line, and then after it happened, he just kept driving. He didn't even stop, and I was sitting there at like the intersection where it happened, and I pulled my bike over and I pet the kitty until it stopped moving, and then I moved him out of the road. I had trouble sleeping last night because of that. I got home after that, and I made sure all my kitties were safe and sound. They don't like being picked up and pet, but I picked them all, each one of them up, and I loved on them, and I told them that I loved them, and told them how much I appreciated them, and how glad I was that they was in my life, because all it takes is a little moment like that, and it could be no more. And that's another reason why I don't like vehicles. I've kind of got an anti motor vehicle stance. Like I did buy a motorcycle this year, and I have been riding it, but I don't ride it every day. I ride my bicycle to work still. On Thursdays, I'll ride it to work. But my job is only a couple miles away. So it's not like I'm using it all the time. I uninstalled social media again a couple days ago. I try to make an effort to stay off of social media, but usually there's something that pulls me back in, and then before I know it, I've been back on it for a while. So earlier this week, I'm back off of social media again. I uninstalled Facebook. I had Instagram for a bit. I've never really used Instagram, so I thought I'd try using it just for a while. I don't like it. I think it's worse than Facebook. So I uninstalled and deleted Instagram. I didn't have much on it. I don't really have a lot of friends. I don't know a lot of people. So like trying to add people, they don't really, add you back unless they know you in person. Well, that's the way it is with people around here. And I wouldn't want to be friends or followers or whatever with people that I don't really know. Unless I've seen them around town, I know of them. It'd be more interesting to learn more about them. Hey Baxter. So yeah, uninstalled Instagram, even though I didn't use it, and then deleted Facebook and uninstalled it as well. That was 2 days ago, but there's the whole 30-day waiting period. They're like, oh, we know that you'll be back, so we're not gonna outright delete your account just yet. We're gonna wait 30 days, just in case we suck you back in. I've been through a lot of Facebook accounts. I'll make an account, delete it, and then a couple months later make a new account. I feel like that's better than just staying on it. I've been more productive, honestly, since it feels like I've been more productive. Because, like, if you're not spending time scrolling Facebook looking at pointless things, you're doing other things. It's not like I just sit there and do nothing. Well, there are times that I do sit there and do nothing, but, like, at least when I'm sitting there doing nothing, I can think about something, you know, make plans for, like, the next day, or make plans to do something like work on a project. If you're looking at Facebook, you might get ideas from stuff that you see on Facebook, but like most of the time it's just entertainment. You're just looking at it. It's funny. You're laughing at it, you know. Like, instead of sitting here talking and recording me talking to the camera about stuff, I could be like playing RuneScape, doing Herblore, and scrolling on Facebook. That's not productive at all. Man, so I actually got a full week at work this week. So the previous 2 weeks I'd been off, like a day and a half, and then 2.5 days out of 4. And then this week I actually worked the full week. And they did have stuff to keep me busy throughout the whole week, which was nice. I'm glad to not be as bored at work. And then I talked to my supervisor and made sure, I was like, they haven't been complaining about me, have they? It's like, no. It's like, okay, don't forget that. I told them that if they have issues with me, instead of getting on to him about me, that they need to come to me directly and talk to me about stuff, because that's the way I'd prefer it to be. Because being on second shift and you don't see like the day shift supervisor or the actual bigger guy in charge, then they don't want to deal with it. They just shove it off on the second shift supervisor to deal with it. Even though I don't have a problem with the second shift supervisor, the problem that I have is with the management above him. But I don't ever see management above him because they're always so busy. So yeah, no problems at work. Got a full work week this week, and what I was doing, man, my left wrist and like pinky kind of hurt a little bit, and my right forearm is sore from doing a repetitive motion. Yeah, there was some stuff we was working on is considered kind of crappy. A lot of people don't like working on it because it takes a lot of effort and it's very tedious. You just sit there and you got to look at it and make sure you do it right, because if you don't pay attention, then you mess it up and then you have to redo it. So that just means double the effort. But it does make time go by a bit faster. Makes the night go by faster. Hi, it's Lizzie. Lizzie, keep your butt out of the camera. Say hi, Lizzie. Lizzie. I'm so happy Lizzie's safe. Lizzie's probably the last kitty to actually get hurt outside. She spends too much time inside. She likes to sleep. Yes. It's okay. Lizzie's had kind of a rough life. Yeah, she just wants to relax now. Fight over the food bowl. That's her, that's the big thing for her now. I actually got Lizzie from a guy at work. Lizzie was, I guess, getting in this guy's yard doing something, I don't know, and he had a trap to catch her, and he had her in the back of his truck in a cage, and this was like a cold day, like I think it was in November or something, but she didn't have any food, she didn't have any water, she was just sitting there in a metal truck bed inside of a cage, like a wire cage, kind of, you know, like a kennel pen thing, and it was cold. I was like, I felt for her. I like cats a lot, and I seen that. I was like, that's not right. So I told my coworkers, like, I'm gonna take her home. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can do that. I guess he was just gonna dump her out somewhere in the country. So I grabbed her. I took an early lunch break, took her home, stuck her inside. I still remember. Ah, Lizzie. I still remember. I wonder if she remembers too. But yeah, she's always been a bit of a grumpy butt. I think she dealt with stuff before I got her. I have a feeling that there was like this joke that my coworker made about sticking a cat in a bucket and shaking it or something like that. I'm afraid that Lizzie experienced something like that. But she's safe now. And then also, whenever I got involved with my ex, I tried to bring Lizzie with me, but it was not working out. Lizzie was not happy, and she was like hiding behind the toilet and being antisocial, and life was just not good for her there. So when I had moved out of my old house, I tried to find people to take care of her, but in a small town, it's hard to find somebody that would actually want to take a cat and take care of it, because there's like so many people already have pets, and then the people that don't have pets, they don't want pets. So it's hard to find homes for any animals that you suddenly are unable to take care of. So I had to leave her behind, and she like became a street cat, which apparently she was good at. Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, she's kind of a grumpy butt, a grouch. So she's like kind of aggressive. She stands up for herself. So she was definitely able to like get the food that she needed and stuff, but very independent. But I didn't like leaving her behind, and I regret leaving her behind like that, and I wish I wouldn't have done it, but it happened. I did go back, and try to see her. I'd be like walking around calling her name around where my old house was, and then I figured out there was this rundown abandoned house that she liked to stay in. So I would always walk by that house and call her name, and she would come running out the back and come to see me. If she wasn't there, she was roaming around somewhere, probably trying to find food. I'd bring her cat food and feed her and pet her and tell her that I missed her. And then finally, whenever things fell through with my ex and I moved out and have been living on my own since, I brought her with me, and I've been taking care of her since. But since she was a street cat, she's retained all the grumpiness and the I've got to do things to be able to survive sort of mentality, especially with the food bowl. And since she doesn't have to work as hard as she used to get food, she doesn't. I mean, obviously you wouldn't, but she still eats like she's, might not see food again, or might not see food for a while. So she's gained weight since I got her. She's kind of a chubby kitty. She's kind of struggles to get up there in the roost at the top of the cat tree. I think she's lost a little bit of weight, but she's definitely living it up. She's relaxing, she's chilling, she's eating the food. Life's good. Life's a lot better than it had been. Torag is my favorite. You want to know why? Because whenever I seen Torag armor, whenever I was a kid, and I seen the dual wielding hammers, that was the coolest thing ever. And Torag has been my favorite ever since. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think that the set effect is useful. but I still think it's cool. Whenever I was a kid and I first became members, that was one of the first things I did. I bought Torags, armor, and hammers as soon as I could afford it. I can't remember if I could afford it as soon as I became a member, but that's what I worked towards. I've had the music on this entire time. I didn't even realize. I really like the idea of playing an Iron Man account. I have made an Iron Man account. I haven't done anything on it yet, but I really want to play it. I have been thinking about it. But I want to work on my main account. I want to get this done and then play that. But I know this is going to take a really long time. So I might end up playing 2 accounts at the same time. Or I just need to play RuneScape more so I can get this done faster, so I can get to that Iron Man account faster. Ha ha ha! Tricked him! I know whenever I go to play the Iron Man account, I'm gonna definitely play it different than I played my main account. Like, what skills I prioritize and do quests more. Or prioritize different quests. Because, like, whenever I first became a member and was doing quests, like, I definitely had, like, a list of quests that seemed more important than others. And then, since I started playing old school, I kind of have done the same thing. I did the same quests because they were, you know, most familiar, and I had a general idea how to do them. I want to get them all done though. I don't want to skip anything. I want to play the game to its fullest, or try to play the game to its fullest. Dude, I don't understand. I've got my neighbors across the street. There's 2 houses where 2 kids live with their parents. And one of them, I guess, has a girlfriend now. It seems wild to me. Why? I didn't realize living with your parents was attractive. It don't matter to me though. I'm too busy with other things. Like, it would be cool to have a girlfriend, but honestly, it's like, it feels like babysitting. If you're not constantly paying attention to them, they get bored, and then they do stupid stuff. That's been my experience. Maybe I've just... It seems like they can't entertain themselves, they just need attention. People just don't use their brain, it seems like. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't make sense. People have weird priorities. They don't think stuff out. I mean, whenever things aren't the way that they thought they should be, or that the way that they, or things are different than what they thought, they get upset. Last night, I did a lot of thinking. And I was watching a video about free will and thinking objectively. There's this guy that thinks that free will doesn't actually exist, and we're just kind of we make decisions based upon what's put in front of us rather than actually considering more options. Like, there are so many different things that people could decide to do, but they don't. They just keep doing what they've always done. And that's definitely the easiest path. But, like, I do understand that consistency is important for, like, if people just made, like, wildly crazy different decisions, then, like, society would, or life and society would be, like, very complicated and difficult. If everybody is more consistent and does the same thing, it makes life more predictable and easier to maneuver. People are not very open to change. If what you're doing is working, what incentive is there to change? So if something stops working and I have to change, they probably will change. So if you don't put yourself in a situation where you won't change or don't have to change, you probably won't. But if you're in a position where you have to change or things won't work, then you will change. That's happened to me. But I'm on it, honestly. I mean, so, like, as weird as it sounds with my job, like, things are working. It is working. It is kind of stressful. And it could definitely be better. But, like, I'm to the point where, honestly, I think everybody thinks that getting fired is a bad thing. Because now you're forced to change. You're forced to do something different to make money. You gotta go somewhere else. You gotta adjust to the new hours, the work schedule. You gotta adjust to all the new work that you gotta do. You gotta relearn how to do a job, unless it's really similar to what you was doing before, but it's not gonna be exactly the same. It's gonna be a little bit different. But honestly, I don't even think getting fired is that big of a deal anymore. I've been at the same job for over 10 years now, and, like, I've always been scared of getting fired because nobody wants to get fired from their job. They just want to work their job and get paid and go home and not have to think about it. But, like, a lot of things can happen if you do get fired. Like, your life could change very significantly. Who do I need to go to? I don't know. So, like, I'm to the point where I don't want to get fired, but at the same time, I feel like it would be a good thing if I got fired. Oh, shit. I did not. I double clicked, and I shouldn't have. I don't want to get fired because the way things are now, I get to play my game like I want to. Pretty much as I want. if I didn't have to work at all, I could play it even more, but I don't think that's gonna happen because I do want to live by myself, and I want to be able to support my cats. I love my cats very much. And I gotta be able to pay my bills and feed myself and take care of myself. But like beyond that, I'm not very, like, I don't want stuff, I don't want responsibility. Like, I used to want like a big house. Oh, okay. I don't know if I ever wanted a big house, but I definitely wanted like my own house. I still do. But it's a lot of a responsibility. I don't want it as much anymore. Like, honestly, I don't even want a house. My idea, like, I kind of want to live in, as wild as this sounds, I want to live in a shed. I want to live in a one-room, tiny shed. Like, and use wood to heat it in the winter, and during the summer, like, here where I'm living at now, I hardly ever use the air conditioner. The only reason I use the air conditioner is because my cats get extremely warm, and then they look miserable, and I feel sorry for them. I care less about myself being warm, but I worry about them because they got a lot of fur. I can imagine that it's way more unpleasant for them than it is for me, and I feel bad. But like, so if you're living in a shed and you don't have air conditioning, like, to me that doesn't seem like a big deal. But like during the winter, whenever it gets cold, like the cold will kill you. In the summer here, it won't kill you. It'll make you uncomfortable, but like, that's something that I'm used to. I've acclimated to it. And then, like, running water would be kind of an issue. I feel like having water is kind of a big deal. Like, if I did live in a shed, I would want running water. That's pretty important, because nobody wants to carry buckets of water, carry water. Since I don't have a vehicle, okay, I got a motorcycle, but I'm not going to be able to transport a lot of water on a motorcycle. So, like, I would be walking, carrying water, or riding a bike, carrying water. Bicycle, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't do it on a motorcycle. I could, but like, as far as like responsibilities wise, if you lived in a shed, you wouldn't have to worry about making as much money at all. Like, you could take advantage of the situation. Like, if you can adjust your mindset and be uncomfortable and be happy, then the amount of work that you would have to do would be way, way less. Because, like, you're not paying a lot of, like, stuff that you pay by living in a house like this. The amount of space that's in this house, do you realize how much energy it takes to heat this entire house? Compared to if you lived in a tiny one-bedroom shed, all you have to heat is like, I don't know how many cubic feet, but like square feet wise, it's probably like 11 by 15 feet. That's not very much. Like, you wouldn't need a lot to heat that and keep it warm during the winter. And something else I've been thinking about too, like, realistically. So like, everything is designed, a lot of things are designed to make life as comfortable as possible, but at the cost of, you now have to pay to live. It's more. Being comfortable with wanting more. yeah, everything is designed to make you comfortable. So like, as far as like going to the bathroom, so you have a bathroom inside your house. Realistically, like, would you want to do your business inside the same building that you sleep and you eat and everything else you live in? Like, I don't think that you would want, like, realistically, you wouldn't want to do that. Nope. You shouldn't be doing your business in the same area that you're living in. So, yeah, I was thinking about, like, having an outhouse is, like, the most logical thing. It's I think it's illogical to have a bathroom in your house. As weird as that sounds. I mean, we've designed everything to make it, you know, work the best that we can. We have plumbing. Like, if you didn't have indoor plumbing, and if it didn't go down that pipe, and you didn't use water to flush it away to somewhere else, you would not poop in your house. Or anything else in your house. You would go outside, and you would do it away from where you're living. So we've designed everything to make it to where that is possible. But the maintenance, the upkeep, like, you have to pay. What is going on? It cost a lot to keep it going whenever, if you didn't have it, if you sacrificed some comfort and you had an outhouse, like, I don't know how much work is involved in having an outhouse, because I've never had an outhouse myself, but I feel like it's legitimately like digging a hole in the ground, putting a small little structure on top of it, and then, like, once you can use it until it's full, and once it's full, you cover up the hole, and then you do it again, you move it again, or you move it to a different spot. Which, to me, like, alright, think of it this way. How many hours a year do you use, or how many hours a year do you work to pay for the ability to have indoor plumbing? Now, now think of that. Like, you could add it up. You could figure out how much you make, and then you can figure out how much your water bill is in a year or something, your sanitation, however much it is, and then you can add it up. How many dollars do you make an hour? How many dollars do you spend per year for your water/sanitation bill? I know there's other stuff involved with that, but, like, you could probably kind of try to figure it out. So how many hours do you work at your job just to pay for that? Now, how many hours a year would you work building or moving an outhouse to a new spot? I know that having property and land to put it on is a big factor. I know it requires a lot of setup, but I'm just thinking, like, how society is kind of built to, like, force you into a situation like this where you have to work. You have to work to have indoor plumbing. When you could, like, just build an outhouse, and, like, you wouldn't have to work at work. You would work to build the outhouse, and then that's good for a while, and then you just do it again whenever. I understand that having indoor plumbing is good because you can get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and it doesn't take much effort. You stay warm. You don't have to deal with the outside elements, you know, going from your house outside to the outhouse. But if you sacrifice the bit of comfort and just kind of deal with it, it's not even that big of a deal. I don't think, unless it's, like, super cold outside. And that would be kind of a big deal. We use our progress and our growth to want more and more and more, whenever we could just be happy with less and take advantage of the situation that life is so easy. But we make it difficult on ourselves, and we don't have to. If we could just think and use our brain, I think a lot of it has to do with women. Like, I'm not gonna say all women think and act the same, but from my perspective, just people in general. Like, men are always interested in women, and then women want to be comfortable. There's an issue there. But once they're comfortable, that's not enough. And then they want to be either more comfortable or they want more, bigger, better. And then since men are simps and that's all that they want are women, they go along with it. They play the game. I feel like that's the reason why. I feel like women is the reason why society is the way it is. But at the same time, men is also the reason why society is the way it is. It goes both ways. But women play a huge role in it. I feel like women are just trying to like take advantage of the situation. I don't think they like fully understand. I don't even think men fully understand the situation either. Or people in general just don't understand the situation. There's a lot going on. And it's hard to put it all together. And it's even harder to like communicate it and try to help people understand what exactly is going on, because it's very complex. A lot is going on. And the way society is, people are just so busy trying to, just keep things going. They don't have a lot of time to think. Now, me, on the other hand, it seems like I don't care about a lot of things that other people care about, so I have a lot of time to think. And, it must... Oh, I might die. I have a lot of time to think and, like, try to figure this stuff out. And then I start feeling sympathetic towards people. But you can't explain it to people. Hey, look! Another pair of Torag's hammers. My favorite weapon. Or... Dude, honestly, this is badass. I feel like that worm should have died faster for sure, but... I don't even have the full Torag set yet, but I have like 4 Torag plate bodies and 3 pairs of hammers. Oh, yep, we'll talk to you. I got 320 coins from that. Yeah, I just got... okay, so I need the legs. That's all I need. I got 4 plate bodies, I have 1 helmet, and now I have 3 pairs of hammers. I feel like for a male, if you stop caring about women as much, like, your life will literally get so much easier. But it's hard because men care about it so much. It's like kind of like one of the biggest things. Like, I'm pretty good about dealing with it, but like I kind of struggle on a daily basis with it. It's not easy. I still want, to be with somebody. I want to be happy, but at the same time, I don't want to sacrifice way more than realistically how much, or I don't want to sacrifice as much as what's expected by what seems like the average female. Like I said, it legit just feels like babysitting. I think whenever I start playing my Iron Man, one of my big goals will be getting the Ancient Mace. I feel like it's a pretty good item. It does take 100% of your special attack energy, but like over time, I feel like it would really add up if you consistently used it. Who knows? Maybe it's not. It wouldn't be. I haven't tried using it, so it might not be as accurate as what I think it will be, but. Okay, we're gonna try it. We tried. So yeah, as a man, if you can manage your desire for women, and if you can manage your desire for comfort, you will have so much freedom. And once you deal with the discomfort, life, and the discomfort is not as big of a deal, life gets a lot easier. Or it should get a lot easier. And I'm not even, like, I've kind of tried to explain this to people, but like, I don't think people understand. A lot of people, men, care too much about women. And then there's also a lot of men that care about being comfortable as well. Oh, with that revitalization pool in my house, it restores special attack. That's legit. I didn't think of that. Actually, I thought of that yesterday, but I forgot and realized it just now. Or remembered just now. But once you get rid of the desire for women and you get rid of the desire for comfort, what do you work towards? Like, you gotta have, well, okay, I can't say you got to have, but like, a lot of people, they like need a reason to keep going, otherwise it seems pointless. I don't know for other people, but I know for me it's like, legit just trying to figure things out. I do a lot of thinking. And I listen to a lot of like philosophers and stuff like that, people like that on YouTube. And like, the world is kind of crazy, legit crazy. I think it's wild that how people in history have lived and how I'm able to live now compared to them is crazy. The fact that I'm able to sit here and do nothing and I can still survive compared to somebody back then that they had to do things to survive. They couldn't just sit here and play a game. And if they made like silly decisions like wasting time trying to accomplish something, then they would die because you have to survive first before you can do anything else. But now like our basic needs are taken care of. Like we don't have to work as hard to simply survive. We can work on other things. And we have so much free time. Well, I do. But I also don't want as much as a lot of people do. So I have a lot of free time to just do this. It seems so crazy. When realistically I should be out there hunting or foraging for food or farming. Trying to find clean water. Or, you know, trying to find a way to make things work or make my life easier. Because it wasn't easy. We can't take care of ourselves nowadays, and it's so easy to take care of ourselves. People don't know how. They're too focused on other things. They're too focused on trying to be a productive member of society. They can't take care of themselves. Or they don't take care of themselves. They would rather sacrifice themselves for the system that doesn't really care about them as an individual. They would rather sacrifice themselves to the system that doesn't really care too much about the individual than take care of themselves first. This is what people have been led to believe. Dude, it's in my mind, it's crazy. I wish I could explain it the way that I see it and the way that I feel it. I don't think I'm educated enough to be able to, like, if I could, I would write a book. I could write a book, but I don't know how good it would be. Like, I feel like I have the understanding, but I don't have the ability to communicate my understanding. And I don't think other people could understand, even if I could communicate in a way that they understood. Like, it's one of those things where people have to want to understand it to actually be able to understand it. And that's everything. I feel like that's everything. It's like, it's the same with taking care of yourself. Like, if you want to take care of yourself, you will put the effort and time into trying to figure out how to take care of yourself. If you don't care, if you'd rather sacrifice yourself for other priorities, then that's what you would do. You can definitely be manipulated to do things that you don't want to do. I feel like that's why a lot of people are so unhappy nowadays, and I don't think they even understand why they're unhappy. They gotta keep trying to figure out, or they give up. They just keep doing what they're always doing because they're like they can't figure out why they're unhappy. But it's hard to do things differently. It's easy to keep doing what you're already doing because it doesn't require as much thought and effort and time. So it's like people are kind of locked into a cycle. Endless torture. When it doesn't have to be that way. I do understand that people have put themselves into situations where their life is not as easy as other people's lives. But if they shifted their priorities, they could make their life a whole lot better. But that's hard. That requires thought, time, and effort. And they're already unhappy and tired and everything, so it feels impossible. It's definitely not easy. But like, once you get to a point, it's not as bad anymore. Like, you've done the hard work. Now it's easy. you don't have to think about it anymore. You just do it because it's habit, because you've done it so much. Like changing your lifestyle is very hard. But like once you change, like look at your lifestyle now. You might have picked the easy things to do and have always done the easy things, but like you didn't develop that lifestyle overnight. That happened like over a long time, and it's the same with like changing your lifestyle from what it is now to something different. It's not going to happen overnight, but you have to think about it. You have to take steps in the right direction. Now, you might not be doing it every single day, but if you go from, you know, doing it 0 days to doing it 1 day a week, like, that's a step in that direction, rather than not taking steps in that direction. And then once you start doing it like 1 day a week, you start doing it 2 days a week. You're taking another step in that direction. And you might give up on it and not do it for a while and come back to it later. But that's still taking steps in the right direction. Just because you took a few steps back doesn't mean that you can't take the steps again forward. As long as you have to keep thinking about it, and you have to keep trying. And you can also take steps in the wrong direction, like not backwards, but like to the side, I guess is a good way to put it. Like you can do something that you think is a step in the right direction, but it ends up being a mistake, and now you gotta retrace your steps and try to get back on track. I don't think he's seen me type that. Oh shit. No. It's so easy to click on the door and not what you want to kill. I didn't. Oh, I was recording. I've been trying to make sure that I screenshot whatever I get out of a chest, but if I was recording, then I don't need to take a screenshot. Dude, I'm in a really good mood today. Today is really good for some reason. I don't even know why. Like, I can definitely tell you I'm hungry right now, but I kind of don't even have the desire to eat. I'm just chilling. Like, hunger doesn't seem like that big of a deal right now. And it's not me being lazy, wanting to get up and get something to eat. I've been up, I went outside for a bit. I brushed my teeth and everything. I'm just chilling. Like, I've definitely been eating a lot of food here lately. We had a thing at work this week, name of company day. So what they did was they were celebrating their company, and they provided the employees with free food. You know how it goes, trying to improve morale. Instead of paying you more, we're just gonna spend the most minimal amount of money that we can on food and hope that is enough to help keep you around for a while longer. So yeah, we got food Wednesday, hamburgers, hot dogs grilled, a bag of chips, baked beans, and cookies that came out of a package. Everything came out of a package, even the patties. But they didn't even give us a drink. this time, which I thought was strange because usually whenever they do something like this, there's like a cooler full of soda and water and stuff, but this time there wasn't. And nothing against the person that cooked the food, but the patties were a little bit dry, so you definitely needed a lot of ketchup. And then you needed something to drink to go with it. It was still good. It tasted good. It was just dry. I still enjoyed it. I had two hamburgers and one hot dog. I had, I think 3 cookies and 1 bag of chips. Now, I don't condone eating food like that. That's a lot of processed food, especially the cookies, the sugar, the chips. It is very salty and probably fried. A lot of grease. And who knows what else is in it. Same with patties. There for a second, I thought my old car drove by that I sold. The car that I sold last year. But it was a different car. Yeah, I've been eating a whole lot of food. I've been gaining weight. I haven't been running as much. I have been running a little bit. My ankle isn't bugging me like it was. But I've been playing a lot of RuneScape and not doing a lot of other stuff. To go to the center. I'm gonna try to use this on one of the smaller, like a mouse. Oh boy, I got 9 prayer points. We're gonna try though, we're gonna try to use it. It immediately gets drained. Well, that was pointless. Oh. Yeah, I feel like if I want to use it, I gotta use it on the guy that I'm attacking. Otherwise, yeah, it's just gonna get drained. Yeah, I've been told that, or I've read that. I've been told that if you have a combat dummy in your house, then that's what you use it on, because it boosts your prayer above your prayer level, so you can have more prayer points before you start on whatever you're doing. But I don't have that yet. I have not added it to my house. I don't even know if it's worth it. It might be worth it. I guess every prayer point counts, unless you're being inefficient. Dude, I think I drank 2 prayer potions for that guy. Whenever we first see him, that's whenever we'll try to use the hammer, or the mace. So we're gonna have that ready. Oh, I don't want to attack a random thing. Oh. Nope, wrong thing. This is not working. Attack. Oh man. This is sloppy. Oh no. Which way do I go? He got the crystal shield. I picked the bow. But honestly, I'm kind of regretting picking the bow because I don't have a very good shield. I actually went and fought ice trolls for a bit to get specifically, I think it's the granite shield, and I think it's my best like ranged defense shield because it's better than a defender. It's better than a ring kite shield, and I don't have anything else for the offhand for melee anyways. So I kind of wish I got the crystal shield because that would be a good thing to have. I wonder if I can still get it. Yeah, the crystal shield is pretty legit, it looks like. Stat-wise. It does have a -10 ranged bonus, attack bonus, though. So you wouldn't want to use it if you're ranging. But you can use it while you're doing melee. And I also have to have 78 smithing and 78 crafting. I don't have either of those. Ah! I think I'm gonna make this my last trip for now. And then go do an herb run. I would like to make more potions. We tried. Why am I hitting so many zeros? Oh my gosh. Die! Like, I'm shooting him point blank, I'm like, miss, 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 miss. Like, how can you miss that? You're shooting his face. Oh my gosh. We did it! One, two, three, four, five. I think I've used all that. All those. Six. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whenever you're doing Barrows, it sucks to go to Trollheim because
you have to use an agility shortcut, and you cannot use that agility shortcut whenever your agility has been drained to 18. That does not work. So we're gonna skip that one. And we're just focusing on herbs right now. I'm not gonna go pick my bushes or cactus or anything. Not even gonna pick my limpwort. It's just there for aesthetics. Yeah, that's a cool name. So whenever I can't use my Ardone cape to teleport to the farming patch, I gotta use my house portal, or house, to go to the fishing guild. I set up the fishing portal whenever I was doing a bunch of fishing, and that was a long time ago, but it has the double use of being able to get me to the farming patch. So I've kept it. And it's also nice whenever... It's like a good spot. I mean, I guess I can teleport to Ardone. But, like, I definitely want it there for farming patch. I feel like the price of toad flax went up. Yeah, it's gone up a little bit. Yeah. I know the seeds hover around 1K. Yeah, they're up a little bit too. I need to go do a birdhouse run. So I need to make 655 more potions until I can make them without boosting Herblore. Hey, that guy had zealot robes. Don't see that very often. I ought to get up and go outside and do stuff. Oh, wrong thing. That's not where I wanted to go. I can now wear spottier capes. Probably won't be. I like the cape that I got. I think this is a good time to take a break.